Coming from the Palace in Auburn Hills, Michigan, it's Magic Roundball Classic. 20 of the very best high school All-Americans right here this afternoon. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Dick Vitale. And I got to kind of put him on the spot here. I mean, one of his favorite expressions is diaper dandy. He uses that so much. Partner, we really got him here today. You get awfully excited about this because of that young array of talent, don't you?
Well, I'll tell you, Ron, what really excites me every year is the influx of new talent on a college scene. We hear about kids leaving early, but really, I get enthused about the new, fresh faces. I remember last year so vividly right here. We watched Stephon Marbury. We watched Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Robert Traylor. Well, we got the stars of tomorrow. They're going to be performing this afternoon.
Let's start off, first of all, with the East team. The young man that you think may be as good a shooting guard or as good a player as in this game, and that's Kobe Bryant.
Well, I'll tell you, Kobe Bryant is 6'6". I watched him yesterday at practice. So impressive. His versatility, his understanding of the game. He's multi-talented. And yes, he comes from a great basketball family. His dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, was a first-round draft choice of the Golden State Warriors and was a superstar at LaSalle. Kobe's got a world of talent. Mr. Versatility.
Also on that East team, young fellow by the name of Tim Thomas, who's really turned a lot of heads and gotten a lot of attention, Dick.
Well, he's about 6'9", and all the coaches are drooling. He hasn't committed, and neither has Kobe Bryant. You talk about Tim Thomas, we talk about a big player who can run the court. He can play a number of positions. I asked him yesterday, who's your favorite player? He said, Scottie Pippen. He said, I love Scottie Pippen. I want to play just like Scottie.
All right, let's don't leave out the West. We were just talking with big Lester Earl of Baton Rouge. You were saying, let it out. Let's have the secret. He's still undecided. Great basketball player from down in the Bayou country.
Well, he's going to make somebody happy as he just walked by, whether it be LSU, Kansas, or Tulane. You talk about a guy that's a tenacious rebounder and a shot blocker.
So here are the starters for the East. Malik Allen at 6'9". Shamel Jones also at 6'9". Rich Hamilton as they start 3-forward set. 6'7". Ed Cota, who's headed for North Carolina, will be one of the starters at guard. And Kobe Bryant, who we talked about just a moment ago, will be the other starter at the guard position. And how about the West? Well, this is the way they will line up today in their first 5. Mike Robinson, 6'6" forward. So we're going to tip it off, and we'll get back to the remainder of the starters here in just a moment. Banks outside here out of Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, he's a local kid from out here in Lansing. They're certainly excited getting Mateen Cleaves.
Tip inside, wouldn't go.
You'll see a lot of fast breaks in a game like this, Ron. It'll be a lot of transition basketball, up and down. Look ahead, there it is, layup time.
McGlure, and he misses the layup.
Well, McGlure took it in nice and easy. He's from out of Canada. Kentucky loves him, Syracuse, Pittsburgh.
Stepped out of bounds. The officials today, Murph Shapiro, Gene Monge, and Rich Sortino.
You're going to love McGlure. He should have dunked that basketball. He tried to go in with the casual layup, but he should have jammed it. But the coaches really love him. Hasn't made his decision yet.
Dick, first time that the youngster from outside the country has been invited to play in this basketball game. Robinson scores. He'll go to the line to shoot the free throw. Well, here are the other starters. Robinson, we talked about. McGlure, who just missed the layup. Then Winfred Walton. He's from Pershing High School here in Detroit. Ron Banks and Rashard Phillips. Rashard actually was a last-minute replacement.
Hey, I'll tell you, Michael Robinson, who made that basket going out to Purdue. Gene Katie's going to love him, a big-time shooter from out of Peoria, Illinois. I talked to his dad a little bit earlier. I recruited his dad. His dad played with me for a year. Then he saw some of our talent, and he said, I'm leaving. And he went to Southwest Missouri State and became a great player. And his dad was Michael as well.
That was Walton hitting the fadeaway jumper. First 2 for him.
Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan.
They get the steal. Rashard pushes it out, and he'll pull up and take the 3 and knocks it down.
I'll tell you, they're excited about getting him at Detroit Mercy. He is what they call an alternate player, and he's playing because Mateen Cleaves is out. But he's going to be a good one for Perry Watson.
Allen missed the short jumper, taken away, and Jones scores the 2.
Tried to set him up with the dunk right there. The pass by Phillips.
Winfred Walton, 6'10" youngster Dick was just talking about.
He's
Mr.
wide
Basketball, open. Parade All-American.
Played at Pershing High School, had a great team. They were undefeated until they got beat in the tournament by Southfield Lathrop. Had a player by the name of Michael Chappelle who's going out to Duke.
Cota, the cutter, and the pass a little too hard, and the turnover.
Eddie Cota will be going down, as you said earlier, North Carolina. Dean Smith's going to get a good one there. Hey, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is here. He was at the banquet last night, spoke to the youngsters.
We're going to visit with him at halftime, Dick. Talk about the youngsters and their attitude about passing up college to get into the NBA as soon as they can. Jones passes it back out. And Robinson will pick up the foul.
You mentioned Shamel Jones. He told me yesterday has not signed, but he's verbally committed to go to Georgetown. Former high school teammate of his is at Georgetown by the name of Watkins, who sat the year out and will be eligible next year.
Bryant knocks down the first one.
I'll tell you, talk about versatility. Talk to Dick Weiss from out of New York, Daily News, a great basketball writer, and he's from the Philadelphia area, and he claims this is the best player that he has seen in over 30 years in the city of Philadelphia.
That's saying a mouthful. Well, he's the all-time leading scorer in the state of Pennsylvania, and that also is saying something.
Well, he led his high school team to the state championship last year as well.
Robinson with his 4th point of the afternoon.
Robinson can put a lot of points on a board. He had over 3,000 in high school.
Shot is short. Yeah, you like Robinson because you coached his dad.
Yeah, his dad was a great guy.
There's Banks, and he will jam it home.
Banks gets ahead of the field, a little dunk. You got to get back quickly defensively here because a lot of transition basketball. There's a great penetration. Cota is going to be a solid point guard at North Carolina, who next year I think is going to have a solid club. And those rumors Dean Smith was going to settle, step down is wacky. Dean Smith's so excited about next year.
Walton shot altered by Allen, and he goes inside on the floor, and they score the easy 2. East coach Jim Salmon was trying to call a timeout a moment ago as his ball club down 15-5 right now, and at the other end there's Cota with the follow.
And Cota will be hooking up in that backcourt with guys like Jeff McGinnis and suddenly Shammond Williams. Vince Carter will get a lot of playing time. Vince Carter was really sensational here last year, but he'll get playing time next year.
Walton with the move inside and score it.
You can see why Jimmy Boeheim was smiling, talking to us early. He wants Mr. Walton badly. Nice look. There's the dish. Nobody got back defensively.
So Hamilton with his first 2 points.
Michigan State, Tom Izzo certainly after Walton as well, and I can see why. UAB, Mr. Bartow's son now taking over, wants him as well. He's got his teammate Carlos Williams.
Great hustle by Robinson at the other end, gets a second follow and then reverses it and scores.
I'll tell you one thing, his dad didn't go inside like that. His dad wanted to shoot nothing but the jump shot.
I met his dad with you a moment ago as you see the jam at the other end. Shamel Jones out of Brooklyn, New York.
Going to be a good player for John Thompson's system. Run the court, good quickness.
Legitimate low post player, isn't he, Dick?
Yeah.
Cota with the bounce pass, and Bryant jams it home, and that got him up out of the seats and some high fives.
Hey, Kobe Bryant, KB, taking it to the rack. Hey, this kid, you talk about academically, he speaks fluent Italian. There he is, Mr. Bryant, flying, jamming, high riser, up and away. A lot of talk that he's thinking seriously of going to the NBA. In fact, Bob Gibbons of All-Star Sports Report has reported that he will bypass college and go to the NBA. I know this, talking to his dad yesterday and to Kobe, spending a lot of time with Kobe. If that does happen, they're going to work a plan out, though, that he gets his degree. This kid had 1,100 on his SATs.
Hamilton with a shot outside, couldn't get it to go. I really wish that, I know these kids are looking at the dollars, but I sure wish they would put some of those thoughts of the NBA on the back burner. Bryant with a universe. And
Kobe Bryant.
They're going to have to go some to have a highlight any better than that for the entire game.
360 spin, hanging in the air. I echo your sentiments, and I said it at the banquet last night when I spoke. I simply said, you know, I'm prejudiced and I'm biased in my thinking, but I would love to see these kids enjoy the fruits of a college education.
Walton has that shot blocked. Allen got a piece of it. Well, good job that time in transition as Cota getting his teammates fired up, and they come back 19-17 now.
I liked Eddie Cota yesterday when I watched him in practice. Played at Tilden High School before he went to St. Thomas More. Had a solid career at Tilden, went to St. Thomas More, and was outstanding there this year.
19-17, the West on top. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
This ESPN Classic program is brought to you by Century 21, real estate for your world.
You know, we'll get you another hamster.
Good job.
Didn't the real estate agent say they were closing the ball field?
Do you have confidence in your real estate agent? Century 21 Pledge Point number 2. Century 21 agents are honest and forthright. Just one of the ways to help reduce the stress of buying real estate. Century 21, the official real estate organization of Major League Baseball.
Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
I'm gonna get free, I'm gonna get free, I'm gonna get free, right into the sun.
Top spin, rating everyone. Xbox, it's good to play together.
Ah, 2 whole days, 2 whole days. 2 whole days to save. The cool 48-hour sale at Radio Shack now.
Hurry in for great deals. A broad pocket travel shaver, only $17.99. A powerful Coleman rechargeable spotlight, just $9.99. And scope out this cool telescope binocular gift set, only $29.99. This Friday and Saturday only.
So shop the Shack. You'll save big for 2 whole days.
Radio Shack.
Want to improve your soccer skills and make soccer more fun? Introducing the ultimate soccer trainer, Star Kick, a brand new way to get more touches and play better soccer. Star Kick attaches easily to your waist and fits any size soccer ball. And the sturdy elastic cord brings the regulation soccer ball back to you again and again with realistic play action. You can practice hands-free footwork like inside foot passing, outside foot passing, dribbling, in-step shooting, trapping and receiving, long shots, goalkeeping and ball handling, even your overhead throw. Star Kick allows for you to stretch your skills to the limit.
Star Kick has given Dylan more power on his shot, better coordination on the ball, and much more confidence in his game.
Star Kick gave me better reflexes and definitely more power.
Star Kick's elastic band adjusts easily for close order drills, or let it all out for kicks up to 18 feet. With Star Kick, you'll see your game improve, guaranteed.
My team has greatly improved with Star Kick. This is a product you use at any age group.
No more marks on the wall. No more chasing balls into the street. Star Kick comes complete with waistband, elastic cord, and regulation soccer ball for just $19.95. Call within the next 10 minutes and get this easy action air pump and instructional video free with your order. And Star Kick comes with a 100% play better soccer guarantee. If you don't see an amazing improvement in your child's game, simply return Star Kick for your money back. Order 2 or 3. Star Kick is a great gift year-round. Stretch your skills to the limits with Star Kick.
If you want games, get Star Kick.
Have your credit card ready and call to order your Star Kick right now. Star Kick's a great way to improve your soccer playing skills, guaranteed. Be sure to buy 2 or 3. Star Kick makes a great gift for everyone who plays soccer. And when you call within the next 10 minutes, you'll get the easy action air pump plus the instructional video free with your order. Stretch your skills to the limits. Call and order your Star Kick right now.
I'm going to watch the little circus shot by Kobe Bryant. from Lower Merion High School in the Philadelphia area. There he's hanging and twisted in the air. I said to his dad, I said, you still play one-on-one with your son? He said, yes, and I always win. I said, what do you mean? I said, Kobe, you let your dad beat you? He said, yeah, he keeps score. And he's the referee as well. He said he calls no fouls.
Rashard Phillips, number 3, and if you just joined us and wondered why he doesn't have a name on there, as the ball is taken away by Bryant in the spin move. Can't get the kiss to go, but the follow, and Cota gets it.
And Cota played with an outstanding guard by the name of Dees, going down to Florida State for Pat Kennedy at St. Thomas More Prep.
Cota now with 8 points. I was talking about Rashard Phillips. He was a substitute for Matik Cleaves, who has a hip injury, and that's the reason you don't see it. They've got tape across his back.
Yeah, Phillips is from out of Ferndale High School in Ferndale, Michigan, suburbs of Detroit. He'll be playing for Perry Watson at Detroit Mercy.
Foul number 25, Rich Hamilton.
Hamilton picks up the foul. Robinson now the first man in double figures in this ball game. He's got 10.
Well, he just seems to have a nose to know how to score. You mentioned a little bit earlier, Hamilton, he's going out to the University of Connecticut, and I know they're excited about getting him.
At the follow inside, nobody boxed out, and Banks with his 4th point.
Robinson scoring big early with the Rich Woods High School, where he put on over 3,000 points in his career in Peoria.
Walton is guilty of the violation. And it's his first.
You know, I get a big kick. If you watch some of the action right there, Walton with the little foul right here, the contact. You know, we hear about, well, the coaches, the pressure that's on these kids. What about the pressure on the coaches? I was watching them last night at the banquet when I spoke. I told you the story. I opened up my speech. I said, it's really beautiful. Here's Rick Pitino. Here's Jimmy Boeheim. They are here today to see me. I think that's fantastic. You guys would come out to hear me speak after going to the final game of the NCAA tournament. Yeah, like reality. They were there because of all the stars that were gathered.
Like toys the day before Christmas.
Exactly.
Robinson hustling inside. Can't get the foul to go, and taken away by the East. Here's Cota. Nice dish inside.
I'll tell you, he's going to fit in perfectly at North Carolina with their system. He's a penetrator, a creator. He looks for the open man. He's very unselfish.
You can tell that by the move right there as Banks gets his first 2, and he'll go to the line trying to complete the 3-point play. The word on Banks, and looking at what he has done, a 6'5" youngster out of Lansing, Michigan, went to Sexton High School, is that he really turned himself into a good outside shooter, Dick.
Yeah, they say he's really worked on his perimeter game. And that's the one thing lacking with a lot of the players is the ability to knock down that long-range shot.
Jones with the 3-pointer. That one's going to challenge. I'm still not convinced that it's better than what Kobe Bryant did a minute ago, but nice look inside as Allen swishes it, and all of a sudden now he's got 4.
Well, Malik Allen, he's going out to Villanova. Steve Lapis and Paul Hewitt and company are here, the coaches, and certainly enthused with Mr. Allen's decision. He played real tough in high school at Shawnee High School. They went to the Tournament of Champions against St. Anthony's, the premier high school in America, 31-0 last year under Bob Hurley, and they challenged him to an overtime game before losing.
Well, the East now has forged into the lead as you take a look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. East by 1. We'll be right back.
Pásame cilantro, pásame cilantro. Cara más grande, Manuel, ¿cómo le voy a poner a los tacos? Thank you, guys. Gracias.
Oh, no, thanks. I'm watching my figure.
Shave with Norelco Advantage with moisturizing gel. It prevents nicks and cuts. Use Spectra and you can personalize it for comfort. So now there are 2 ways to achieve close shaving satisfaction. As you can see. Ultra close, ultra comfortable. Guaranteed.
The Bradshaw you never knew.
I've been depressed my whole darn life.
And his continuing fight.
I'm never going to be what I want to be.
Sports Century Terry Bradshaw, a Monday world premiere, 8 p.m. this Monday, only on ESPN Classic. 1988. Classic.
Stop. This one. A couple papers, mails in a mailbox.
Yeah. Give me the package.
They think the signs read, "No one is home."
Mom, what's going on?
Yet they missed the most important sign of all.
It's okay. It's okay. Hello? It's Springs. It's okay.
Brinks Home Security protected this family, and they can help protect yours, too. The Brinks Award-winning Monitoring Center provides a quick link to the proper authorities 24 hours a day. Call Brinks Home Security now and get a free 10-point home security analysis. The Brinks Standard System with keypad installed for just $99, and will install a second keypad free. That's a $125 value. You'll always feel safe at home with Brinks Home Security. Brinks Home Security, dedicated to fast response and peace of mind 24 hours a day. Call now.
Ron Franklin to Dick Vitale, and let's take another look at this move by Phillips.
Oh, that's Rashard Phillips. He's the kid we talked about, the alternate, laying it on the glass. Good penetration move, breaking down the defense, dribble penetration. See, there it is right there. Little dribble penetration, pick up, shoot up the jag.
Cota gets the follow, and he scores.
Eddie Cota, I'll tell you, he's been a star early in this game.
He really has. 10 points. Great hustle, and also, as you mentioned, a good team guy, always looking for his teammate. The East was down big early in this ballgame, and now they have come storming back.
I think when you look on the matchups on paper, I certainly would give the edge to the East based on the reputations of the Thomases and the Kobe Bryants and company. What a look.
Walton, somebody forgot him.
I'll tell you again, Mr. Rashard with that pass, outstanding pass.
It's a 19-8 run, Dick, by the East. Dish inside, you got to call it a pass. Couldn't get the tip to go, and Phillips pushes it up.
I'll tell you, Phillips really can find the open man. There he is again.
There he did again, and Walton the beneficiary.
I'll tell you, they're going to love this little guy here at Detroit Mercy, and he's showing he belongs on the floor here. He's an alternate player. Was thrilled that they gave him an opportunity to play.
Tip wouldn't go. And Phillips knocks the ball off the East player, and so it goes to him. Dick, you're right, a heady player.
I think his dad told me yesterday, I saw his dad, he said, "You're going to remember my little guy," and I could see why. This kid can play, and he has an enthusiasm for playing.
Rashard Phillips from Ferndale.
Hey, somebody better tell him he's an alternate. I mean, this guy's trying to be the star of stars. Hey, cool it, Mr. Phillips. Take it easy.
He's got 8 points.
They didn't even have a jersey for him this morning. I was having breakfast, and they were having a tough time finding a jersey for him.
Three-pointer over the top, and it'll come back the other direction. Yeah, I mentioned, there you see it. It's got tape over the name, and it's Cleaves. If you look real closely under there, because Mateen Cleaves was supposed to wear that 3, but he has a hip injury, unable to play. So Rashard Phillips is the man.
And Cleaves going to be a great one. He's a Charlie Ward kind of kid, a tremendous quarterback prospect as well, going to Michigan State. Allen,
Quick outlet pass, and they break 2-on-1, and not much Phillips can do about that.
Wow.
4 points now for Hamilton.
Rich Hamilton, a high riser. They're looking for him to be part of their rotation. He'll be an instant player down there in Connecticut.
Clock running down. 2 seconds now. One as we're playing quarters in this first half, and in the second half, I think we'll play a 20-minute half, or depending on the pace of this game. So we're at the end of the first quarter. Let's take a timeout. The West 32 and the East 30 in the Magic Roundball Classic. We'll be right back.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event. You'll find incredible values whether you buy or lease. Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise. your Lexus dealer.
There's more to protecting your family this winter than making sure they're dressed warmly. You've got to make sure they're protected at home as well. And no one helps protect families better than ADT. A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and take advantage of ADT's holiday special. You could even save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. And you may qualify for zero-down financing for installation. But you better hurry. ADT. Always there.
I never wore black. My old dangerous shampoo always left flakes. So I switched. Selsun Blue Moisturizing Shampoo. Doctor recommended for flakes and itch. With aloe and moisturizers for healthier hair and scalp. Never wear black without the blue. Selsun Blue. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. So
This holiday season,
yourself
put out the good stuff. Planters.
Home is where the hoop is. With ESPN Full Court, you'll get more than 450 additional games of college basketball. To order, call your local cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
All right, here's the play. Sunday night at 8. Go to ESPN Classic. Stop at the couch, and the best sports movies of all time will be right there.
Real classics with Burt Reynolds.
Where sports and movies collide.
It's 3:13. Dude, that's 3 minutes till John takes his coffee break. You got the sign? Right here. Let's do it. Okay.
If these guys get this excited about regular life, what do you think they'll do with this? Cheap Seats, a new take on some old sports, coming in February, only on ESPN Classic.
32-30, the West leads at the end of the first quarter. And Rich Hamilton, you've been talking a lot about him. Let's take a look at him scoring just a moment ago here.
Plays from out of Coatesville High School in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. A little showbiz, a little smash, a little pizzazz right there. Check those numbers. 29 points a game, 16 rebounds, 10 assists. I mean, are you kidding me? A triple-double. That's unbelievable.
Dick, and you know, somebody mentioned to me when I brought up his name, he said until his senior year, he was almost an unknown. He was certainly not listed as one of the top 20 players in the country.
Well, Jim Calhoun certainly liked him. I know this year, talking to Jim a number of times, was really ecstatic when he decided to play for Connecticut.
Alexander in the ball game as you watch him handle. Number 22, a youngster out of Carrollton, Texas, played at Newman Smith, headed for Arkansas.
Big-time scorer on a high school level.
Woods knocks it down. Lauren, 7-footer out of Cardinal Ritter in St. Louis.
I'll tell you one thing about Woods. 7'1", as you said. He's only about 225 right now, but he's got good agility, great hands, excellent footwork, and he will become a star at Wake Forest.
I started to say he's going to play for one of my favorite guys, Dave Odom, and glad that everything got worked out on that contract for him.
Yeah, he's really got himself a long-term deal, deserves it. They wanted him badly at North Carolina State, where they're still looking for a coach.
Lester Earl in the ball game
nice
also.
Dish.
And the dish inside for the jam.
Timmy Thomas with the jam. Word on Thomas, he's going to stay basically in the East. It could be possibly Rutgers, possibly Seton Hall, maybe St. John's. A late entry with Fran Frischella.
You can see they're shooting 54% the East, 50% for the West All-Stars.
There's a look at Thomas, Patterson Catholic High School, coached by Jimmy Salmon, who's coaching here today. Had a lot of fun with the kids last night. I had Shaheen Holloway, who's an outstanding point guard, Tim Thomas, come to the podium, and I announced that both guys have made their decision. And I had the place going crazy, about 500 people. I said, guys, we want to break your hearts, coaches. They're going to tell you now where they're going. They're going to NC State with me. I'm taking the job as the head coach, and they're coming with me, baby.
Oh, my. Alexander threw it away. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul underneath.
You mentioned Alexander going out to Arkansas. He'll be teaming up with some young players down here. We saw one in this game last year, Derek Hood, Kareem Reed, his fine high school coach. Gary DeCesa's here as well, does a tremendous job at St. Raymond's and in the Bronx, New York. But Alexander will be an outstanding scorer for Nolan Richardson.
Mostel, you could see committing the foul right there in the outlet pass.
Nice look.
Barnes, very unselfish, dishes it off.
Barnes going out to Miami.
Lloyd with his first two.
Rock Lloyd will be part of a combination with Jason Hart from Inglewood, California for Syracuse.
Rock, they like to call him. Very physical player, but also because he shoots such a high percentage, don't you think?
He can knock down the three-point shot. I watched him in practice, but he's a strong driver as well.
64% from the floor shooting his senior year.
Ramel Rock Lloyd, Cardinal Hayes High School, where they produced a guy that went on to star at Kentucky by the name of Jamal Mashburn.
Walker picks up that foul. It's his first.
What a good-looking kid. Very articulate, bright. This kid is going to have quite a future. Played with an outstanding high school player by the name of Carrawell, who's going out to Duke University. Lauren Woods, 7'1". Long, lean. Davey Odom is going to have him working on big man moves. Hey, I told him the best thing that could happen in his career, if Tim Duncan decides to come back, working every day with Duncan, that would be a great learning situation for him.
Bounce pass and Height will score it.
Take it up strong. He's posing. Lester Earl with the jam. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The big question next week, will it be Tulane? Will it be LSU or Kansas?
Walker with the putback.
Tremaine Walker joining Barnes down there at Miami for Leonard Hamilton.
Hostel.
He's going to St. John's University.
Lester Earl misses the jumper. Yeah, he was in, Lester was in a very talkative mood just prior to the ball game, and I thought that he might give you a scoop there, tell you where he was going, but that wasn't the case. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break. 6:47 left until halftime. It's the West 39-36 in Magic's Roundball Classic.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car or truck makes all the difference. Sweetheart, your honey-do list just got a little bit longer. Sorry.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
This is titanium. One of the sharpest metals known to man. Now available in a somewhat more manageable size. The new Remington Titanium Series. The world's only shaver with the sharpness of titanium-coated trimmer.
Ball tonight on the news, the Mets and the Rockies, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So as you're filling out the last portion of your income tax tonight, you can be watching Major League Baseball as well.
Hey, I'll tell you, the Mets got some good, young, strong arms. And certainly down there, the Rockies, they got some guys that can put runs on a board.
Knocked away and going to be stolen right back. Pass intended for Alexander. Thomas, and Timmy strokes it, showing, hey, I can play inside at 6'10", or I can shoot it from outside.
That's why he likes Scottie Pippen. He told me he likes to be very versatile. He likes to play all over the floor, and that's why he has coaches drooling, hoping that they can get him. People like Bobby Wenzel and Fran Fraschilla and George Blaney and company.
Well, he played some deep ones right there. Is that pass? If we're looking for width.
Mr. Thomas, he just showed his versatility. He made a three-point jump shot. Now he shows he can run the court in transition and explode right to the rack.
And he played defense prior to that, knocked the ball loose. So he did it all. The birdie on that hole was everyone his stroke.
Shaheen Holloway was the MVP at a McDonald's. Oh, he nonchalanted that layup. Shaheen from out of St. Pat's and Elizabeth, where they got a solid program. It's amazing some of the high school programs being developed in New Jersey.
Alexander has it sent in orbit.
He said, wait a minute now, when I played in Carrollton, Texas, they didn't do that to me.
That's right, but Lucas Barnes said, you're not coming in here with that stuff.
What a great mom and dad. He comes from a great family, a chance to share time with them. There's the rotation. Barnes is a real Skywalker.
And the three-pointer, the first points for him in this ball game. Walker behind the back pass, looking for Tim Thomas. Couldn't connect on it.
Biggest problem in all-star games, Ron, is the ability to rotate back and get balance between offense and defense. Really very difficult. When guys penetrate, you don't see anybody helping out, getting back to give you a defensive transition.
And a layup just now by Hart, his first 2 points.
He's going to Syracuse from out of Inglewood, California. Jason Hart. Jimmy Boeheim's got a great recruiting class coming in with Lloyd and Hart. The kid by the name of Derek Thomas, who's not here, from Tulsa.
Jimmy is here, as you mentioned. I got to visit with him just a few moments before the game as the alley-oop for Alexander, and then he misses. Walton is there for the follow.
Well, that's one of the reasons Jimmy Boeheim's there. No, that was Lauren Woods right there with that follow, the big 7-footer. But Walton's one of the reasons, as well as Jamal McGlure from out of Canada. Oh, nice dish right there by Holloway.
Well, Thomas takes it away and then gets the jam. I guess to finish my thought on Boeheim, and it was said a lot during the Final Four, is I think he got a lot more positive publicity than he's gotten in a long time, and I was glad to see it. He's a good guy, yeah.
Well, 19 years out of 20, you win 20 games or more. I mean, he's been to the Final Four twice. He's had some tremendous success in the Big East, but he's never been able to receive his due, and he finally now, this is his moment. You know what? You can feel it. I saw him yesterday signing autographs, and I was teasing him, and I'll tell you, I'm so happy for Jimmy.
I am too. Barnes picks up the foul. I guess, you know, probably the thing that kind of summarizes the whole deal is the difference between perception and reality. And the way he was, you see the East with 7 dunks now, 2 for the West.
7-footer again, Lauren Woods right down the lane.
He's got 7 points.
Oh, jam on that baseline, explosive. Boy, this is so strong physically. He was sharing a lot of time yesterday, Jimmy Boeheim, sitting at the dinner table with Rick Pitino. And I'll tell you this about Rick. You know, he was on cloud 9 winning that national title. As you watch Lloyd taking it to the goal, it's going to bring a smile to Boeheim's face. But you know what he was so excited about yesterday? He grabbed my wife and my daughter, and he said, I'm so thrilled. My son just got notified, I guess the day before, he got accepted at Notre Dame academically. And he has a choice now, there or Boston College. He said he's got to make that decision. He was really so proud father. That's all he wanted to talk about rather than the national title.
Alexander misses on both.
Lloyd wanted the lob. He didn't spot him.
Couldn't get the reverse to go. And Alexander with the outlet pass.
Uh-oh, here goes a little dunk. All right, Lauren Wood. Amy Odom screams, watches on a tube. That's my big guy. He's coming to Wake Forest.
He's got 9 points.
He'll be a Demon Deacon. A lot of one-on-one. You're not going to see too many passes, baby.
Yeah, that was Postel who
nice
got the defensive play, and then at the other end, his teammate rewards him with the dish, and now he's got 5 points.
Jason Hart with that good look. Jason Hart will get a lot of playing time immediately up at Syracuse, losing Sims. I thought Sims was so underrated for Syracuse.
You know, and that's a really good story because Lazar Sims actually had kind of been told that he probably was not going to get any playing time. As you look at that dunk, and that, you know, if he wanted to look to go somewhere else that he could, right. He said nope, he stuck it out. And I'll tell you what happened during the championship game, Dick. I was doing the radio right down next to their bench, and he injured his wrist badly enough. You remember they had to tape him up, and the kid had tears in his eyes, and boy, he wouldn't come out of the ballgame because Jimmy kept looking at him like, are you going to stay, you're going to come out? And I think Lazar Sims, you're right, is a kid that didn't get probably the attention that he should have.
Yeah, he really underrated. As you look at Jimmy Salmon now, the coach at Patterson Catholic, coaching here today. I'll tell you, talk about that Syracuse-Kentucky game as you watch it. Look at Isaiah. Little Isaiah's in town. Isaiah Thomas. General manager with the little guy. You talk about, I think he's the best little man ever to play the game. I really believe that. I think he's the best little guy ever to play the game in my era that I've ever seen. He was so tremendous when he played here for the Pistons, led them down here at 89 and 90 to that NBA title. Titles. There's a guy, I think, the greatest center ever to lace him up. I really believe that. We've talked about Russell was the greatest shot blocker, Chamberlain the greatest athlete, but total center play, offense, defense, winning, this guy was, I think, the best.
Tell you, also it gives us an opportunity to promo coming up at halftime as you look at the field goals this quarter. An interview with the Korean that we shot just prior to the ball game, and for youngsters who are vacillating on the importance of college and what they're going to do as far as their basketball career, I think he's got a really good message, and you'll hear that at halftime.
You know, also I tried to share last night with these kids, you're on top of the mountain right now as an All-American high school player. As we watch a little penetration right there by Holloway. But basically understand this, the guys like Tim Duncan and Kerry Kittles and people out there like David Robinson in the past, they weren't at all these exciting big-time games. But the bottom line is there's some other kids out there we don't hear about right now who are chasing that dream. So if you think you're there because you're here, it's not going to happen. You got to continually work and do things the right way. What a great look by Holloway.
Holloway with the dish. They got unlucky in a shot, but they'll hold on to the basketball. 12-4 run by the West.
Holloway's got great vision. He's got great feel on the floor. He's out of St. Pat's in Elizabeth, but he also lives, his home is in Queens, New York. Shoot the jumper. There it is. Turn, shoot. Oh, he could stroke it. He's a big-time player, Ron. There's no doubt about it. He is for real. Thomas, Kobe Bryant, those kids are flat out for real.
Thomas now with 11 points. Thomas is a stronger kid than what you might realize. Good legs on him.
He made that happen right there. There he is. T-squared, baby. Timmy Thomas up and away.
Twice in this quarter, Dick.
Deflection.
He's made the defensive play and had come to the other end and scored.
A lot of people had said in high school, he got a little bored. They didn't think that he gave in terms of a lot of intensity. But some people feel it's because it was so easy for him.
Well, his motor's running today.
His motor's going to run on a collegiate level. He said, forget about anything about the NBA. He said, I'm going to college.
Well, he came up with the steal.
Nice
Holloway with the dish.
Shaheen Holloway is going to make life easy for a lot of wing players in transition. There's the little guy. There's the nice
Lester
dish.
Earl, guilty of the foul.
Howard Garfinkel told me on the phone recently, he's from out a 5-star report, as we all know, and he told me that Shaheen Holloway has that special gift to make everybody else better that's on the floor, and that's unique. Only special players have that.
Barnes misses both of those.
Barnes and Walker, two of the best players in the state of Florida, both committed early to Leonard Hamilton down in Miami. Let's look at Jermaine Walker.
Alexander commits that foul. 52-51, the West on top with just over a minute to play in this first half. Magic's Roundball Classic from the Palace.
I know Magic would like to be here, but Magic's involved, as we all know right now, trying to lead the Lakers. It was great listening to Magic in an interview the other day with some of the things that have been happening with the Lakers, with Van Exel
and all his years in basketball.
He said, I can't believe it. He said, this is wacky. And it is wacky. I thought that Van Exel got off easy. I really did. I thought they should have sent a message loud and clear and banned them for the rest of the year, not only the regular season, but the entire playoffs. And you would have seen some people start to learn.
Well, a good example is, 3 years ago in college basketball, they said 2 incidents and you're gone. You can't play anymore. And there's no fighting in college basketball anymore, is there?
Yelling and screaming at a referee, that's been part of the game. But when you start making physical contact, I mean, that's a no-no.
Earl, the beneficiary of that pass, and then perspiration on his hand. He couldn't come up with the jam.
From Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
3 straight times Lester has led his team to a state championship.
I'm impressed with Woods. I think Woods is going to be one heck of a player. He's going to whirl the potential. Take it up. Don't hesitate. Lester very strong around the basket, but he's hesitating. He's just catch and go right to the rack.
Earl now with 4 points, and we have just over 25 seconds remaining until halftime.
You know, Isaiah Thomas here doing a little work, too. A little mental idea. Some of these young players. Hey, Thomas has been really a star here today.
15 points in this quarter.
Well, because of the way he's running in transition, his defensive ability, not the fact that he dunked the basketball, but all the little things that he's doing.
Woods left hands it up.
Like him, Ron?
Yes, I do. He almost got that hook to go.
Corbin Woods, 7-1. Wow, Davey Odom, you got yourself a good one and a great kid as well. Look at Kareem working that sideline. He wants to coach. He said, I'll take 5 of these guys and we'll go on for an NCAA title.
So it is halftime as Woods, the book on him that he runs the floor well, and he showed it in that quarter right there. 11 points for him as we head to break. It is halftime with our score, the West 56 and the East 53.
One tool that won't let you down.
Nice tool.
Leatherman.
Thanks.
Leatherman. Now you're ready.
Hey!
I'm gonna get free, I'm gonna get free, I'm gonna get free right into the sun.
Top spin, rated everyone. Xbox, it's good to play together.
A short time ago, this woman was limited by her mobility. A month ago, this man wasn't even able to get around his house. These are people who chose freedom over restrictions, independence over limitations. They chose mobility. They chose the scooter store. And this is a team of mobility experts that made it all happen.
Great news. You've been approved for payment.
Dr. Cruz, I'm calling on behalf of Marie Stanford.
And they can make it happen for you. If you're living with limited mobility, call the scooter store today. I promise no other company will work harder to make you mobile or do more to guarantee your total satisfaction.
I expected they'd help me file some paperwork with Medicare and my insurance. I never expected them to be so nice or to work so hard to get me a power chair at no cost to me.
Call today and let the scooter store work for you. If we pre-qualify you for a new scooter or power chair and Medicare denies your claim, the scooter store allows you to keep your scooter or power chair at no cost. That's the scooter store guarantee.
You don't qualify for Medicare? No problem. We'll work with your insurance company, even help with financing. If there's a way, we'll find it.
When they delivered Mom's power chair, I expected they'd show her how to use it once or twice. That man stayed for hours. You can just tell they care.
Whatever it takes, as long as it takes, that's our guarantee.
Why do we go to such great lengths? Because making you mobile is our mission. We'll work with your doctor, we'll work with Medicare, and your private insurance. We'll even service your scooter anywhere in the country. So call the scooter store today.
Find out what great lengths the scooter store will go to for you.
Improve your mobility and your life. Call 1-800-652-5588 for your free, no-obligation information from the scooter store. Call to find out if you pre-qualify for a brand new power chair or scooter. That number again is 1-800-652-5588. 1-800-652-5588.
Lyle Alzado. He was a wild man. A SportsCentury Monday world premiere, December 22nd. Lyle used football as a way of expressing his anger. He was Darth Vader and 3 Mile Lyle.
You never knew when he was going to just go. Just had to think, what is this guy on?
Did he give his life for a career in football?
There was common use of steroids. I don't want anybody to have to go through what I'm going through.
SportsCentury, Lyle Alzado. A Monday world premiere, 8 p.m. December 22nd, only on ESPN Classic.
It's 3:13, dude. That's 3 minutes till John takes his coffee break. You got the sign? Right here. Let's do it. Okay.
If these guys get this excited about regular life, what do you think they'll do with
Some are probably ready to physically play in the NBA, but from a maturity standpoint in terms of growing up, a lot of them probably need to wait and, you know, grow up and mature a little bit. But, you know, when you 16, 17, 18 years old, you feel like you know it all, just like we felt, you know, at 18, we thought we knew it all, but then all of a sudden you get to be 21 and you say, wow, if I knew what I knew at 18, then things would be a little different. So I think a lot of them should probably take the time, go to college, enjoy what the college campus is about, that atmosphere, and, you know, get their education, so you always have something to fall back on.
Well, you know, we talked to the greatest big man in the game today, now the greatest little guy to play. Isaiah, you talk about these kids, you and I were talking off the year. They're like 2 for 16 on a free throw line. What has happened to shooting free throws?
Well, my theory is they probably don't have the garage. I think a lot of them, you know, they work on the dunks and they work on, you know, shooting a three-point shot, and they don't spend the time working on the little fundamentals and the intricacies of the game that really makes you a great player. You can be a great talent, but then you can be a great player if you master the fundamentals also.
Tell us your feelings right now. You got a chance to watch a 6'9" player, Tim Thomas, and you saw Kobe Bryant. Both names have been rumored as possibly going to the NBA out of high school, even though Thomas, I was happy. He told me today that he's definitely coming back. I mean, he's going to college. Kobe Bryant is still open. Give us your evaluation of those kids.
Well, I would say, you know, again, both those kids probably have the talent to play at all levels. Whether or not they can handle the ins and outs from a maturity standpoint and an entertainment aspect on a day-to-day basis and the type of demands, that's a tough package. And we see what happens in all sport and throughout professional sports so many times. What kills people is the things that go on off the court, not necessarily on the court.
What do you basically look for when you go out scouting and looking at a player? What are some of the things you're looking for? What jumps at you right away? If you had to break it down into skill areas, what are some of the things you're analyzing?
Well, the first thing I look for is presence out on the court. You got to.
Well, you had some pretty good presence.
You know, I try to come to the game very unbiased and just try to, you know, watch and see who jumps out at me. Before I come to a game and watch, if I'm coming to watch a particular player, I watch some tape on that player before I go to see him, just to make sure that I'm seeing what I really see.
Which brings up a point. We talked at halftime about Cota and the fact that not only did he have 10 first-half points, but he did a lot of other things as well. Same way with Tim Thomas, defensively and then at the other end. That's the kind of thing you're talking about you look for?
Yeah, you look for their passing abilities, their skill, how they relate to other players, how they communicate with other players, how they communicate with the coaches. And is there a genuine love and affection for the game, or is there a genuine love and affection for, you know, being a showman? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I want to give you right now the chance to share with us as we watch a foul on the inside, and we'll see whether or not he can make these, Ron. But right now we're thinking of the NBA draft down the road, and you guys don't have the first pick, so you might be able to share this with us. Who do you think right now would be the first pick of the NBA draft? There was a lot of debating going on last night. I spoke at the banquet, and all the coaches we gathered after, and we're all talking, and you hear the name Duncan and Camby if they were to come out. If Isaiah Thomas was picking right now, who would be your first pick?
If I have the first pick, you know, you got to take Tim Duncan if he decides to come out of school. He's probably the most dominant player in college right now. Block shots, does everything that you want a big man to do in the game. He rebounds effortlessly. He doesn't even try to rebound. You know, and he gets 14.
14 rebounds. Hey, that's interesting you say right there, but now I'm really going to put you on the spot. We had two little guys in college dazzle him last year. One at Georgetown, Allen Iverson. I remember doing a game, and I said, this is the best little guy I have seen since Isaiah did his thing. And then there's the kid down at Georgia Tech who I fell in love with, Stephon Marbury. If you had the choice right now, they both were standing here, and you could only take one to Toronto, who do you grab and take?
That's like picking between Kareem and Bill Walton. You flip a coin and you say, okay, heads or tails, I'll take this one. I'd like to see either one of those guys line up beside Stoudemire. You know, I think they would be a very exciting backcourt. Could do some things, pass, shoot the ball. I like both of them.
Break their games down, though, for us. So take us, Stephon Marbury, give us your evaluation of his game, and then Allen Iverson and what you think they got to work on to get a little bit even more advanced as players.
I would say both of their games are so good. I don't think there's any one bad thing about any of their games. That's why they're so dominant at their level. I think they can come to this level and dominate also. They both play well without the ball. They both play well with the ball. They both can pass. They're very unselfish. And they both have a presence out on the court that's undeniable. They both command the type of respect from the defense and also the offense.
Well, I'm a little biased, so I know you guys got one already, Stephon. I hope you don't get the second, even though there's all kinds of reports that Mr. Iverson's going to be going to that next level as well. What do you think has to be done? Don't you think there has to be a meeting of the minds between the NBA, the college ranks? I think, Isaiah, it's getting really out of hand with kids on a high school level now really trying to make that move, and it's outrageous. I think that a lot of these kids may be scoring points, but in environments like Kareem and I were talking last night, they get 30 minutes of action, and teams are losing. Yeah. And you can score and lose in environments. That doesn't mean you're ready.
Right. I think between the NCAA and the NBA, there is going to have to be a meeting of the minds. But I think what eventually is going to happen in the NCAA is that eventually you're going to have to get to the point where you start compensating some of these guys on football, baseball, basketball, hockey, gymnastics. You're going to have to, because at the end of the day, you know, I was a college kid, and when I went home, I opened up my refrigerator and it was bare.
I couldn't agree with you more. We spoke about that last night. They've made some strides, the NCAA, with now allowing a player to be insured. And I said, why not go a step further? For those that are projected to be lottery selections, allow them to take loans up to $50,000 a year, pay it back after they become pro athletes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, but there's going to have to be something done in terms of financial compensation, because what you're going to start seeing is that, as Stephon Marbury said, I seen him being interviewed, and he said, you know, when you're sitting here, you got to take a look at it, you know, and he turned around and he asked the reporter, he said, wouldn't you take a look at it?
Isaiah, thanks so much for coming over. We're going to have to take a break right now. 68-63, the West on top. We'll be right back.
Great high school teams he played on. Pershing High's produced some outstanding players. In fact, when you did the game with Syracuse, Kentucky, Todd Bergens from out of Pershing High School. Also, Maurice Taylor.
$16 points now for Walton. As Bryant, he almost got that thing to go, but he was fouled on the way to the hoop. And as Dick said a moment ago, we'll keep closer attention here in this half to see if anybody can make a free throw.
Well, we took a look at Walton right there. I mentioned Maurice Taylor. He went to Henry Ford High School. I was talking about Willie Mitchell, who I really met. Mr. Basketball is playing at Michigan. And Carlos Williams, who plays at UAB down there in Alabama. He's also a Pershing High guy.
33, Kobe Bryant at the line. Correction foul on 42, Winfred Walton.
Let's look at Kobe Bryant's numbers. Lower Merion High School choice, undecided. Pro possibility. A lot of people think he'll go right to the NBA. I'm hoping he goes to the college level. I spoke about that last night at the banquet. He's a kid who's an outstanding student as well.
Bryant made both of those things, so he's 60% now, 3 of 5.
Well, he's got great touch. He's got great range. There's a lot of similarities to his game to a younger version of Grant Hill. I'm not saying he's Grant Hill, but he's basically got a lot of similarities to his game.
Tell you one thing I want to get a shot of as you look at Hamilton. Whoa, he scores in traffic. Before we get off the air here, little Isaiah is here with his dad, and he's wearing a Michael Jordan jersey. What is this?
I know, Isaiah, I was teasing him about that. We watched McGlure take the ball to the goal. Jamal McGlure Certainly going to make some college coach happy.
As is Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, I mean, just a tremendous talent. He goes inside, outside. He can run the court. He handles the ball really well.
Bryant now with 12. And McGlure has scored a couple of hoops here in the second half. It has been impressive, showing mobility down on the post.
Very strong inside player as well. Loved his visit. He told me when he went out to visit Pittsburgh. He's got some other visits coming up. He's going to be on Kentucky Derby weekend in Lexington, Kentucky.
74-70. The West leads as Walton tries to complete the three-point play, and it would give him 19 if he hits it. Can't get it to go.
Well, Michigan State's Tom Izzo's trying to get that combination of Walton and Cleves to hook up at Lansing. But some other people got other ideas like UAB and Syracuse. Syracuse has done well in the Motor City. Remember, they had a guy by the name of Derek Coleman from out of the city. Now with Philadelphia. Hey, Ron, before we go any further, we got a really honor right now. Honorary coaches and ball boy. Last night at the banquet, these people bid money as we watched the play on the inside, come up with the loose ball, see the contact. These people right here bid money to sit on a bench, and the money went to a tremendous cause here, the foundation. Dan Fagan, that's right, he works at the day school in New York, dean of students, teaches English, boys varsity coach. Yes, he donated money, and Nick Bogdanovich, he did as well. And Brian Ellis is the ball boy. He's 12 years old out of Detroit, and that was purchased by Joe Jellybean Bryant. Moby's dad purchased that for him.
Well, here's Robinson, and he'll take it himself. Misses, but the follow by Walton.
Walton having a big half.
Walton now at 20. He's the first one to get to that plateau.
Putback by number 24, Jamel Jones.
Jamel Jones with that putback just now.
Jones, very active player. Going to be a perfect player for the kind of game they have down at Georgetown. Attack the offensive boards, play on the defensive end, utilize the full court, transition ability.
Get ready to trap on defense.
Trap, and they come after you big time. The names may change, but the man is on the sideline. Big John Thompson.
Walton reverses that spin move and swishes it.
I'll tell you, big-time prospect. This kid's going to be a PT peer. He's a real big-time prospect.
Kobe Bryant. In an all-star game like this, if they pass more than 5 times in one trip, it probably should be called a technical foul.
5 times? Try maybe 2. You got a record if it happens 5. Look at that play right there. McGlure from out of Canada.
And we mentioned again, for people that might not have been with us early, he's the first youngster that from outside the country that has played in this game.
I'm really surprised right now with the West leading by 9. I would have thought the East would have been in command here in this game. If you go by reputations, you look what these players are ranked. You see a combination for the East of Shaheen Holloway, Tim Thomas, Kobe Bryant.
The guy that picked it up in the first half, it got the East back in it, and they were getting hammered early, was Cota.
Yeah, Cota did a great job with his penetration ability.
All right, here we go, rush.
And if you're wondering, we were talking about Walton with 22 points. What is the all-time high as far as scoring in this game? Well, it's Calvin Murphy and Tom McMillan.
Calvin Murphy.
37 points each.
Talk about
sensational little guys.
Oh, wow.
And I guarantee you, he wasn't 1 for 6 at the free throw line in this one. Robinson, one of the best always.
Oh, he could shoot that jump shot off that dribble, shake and bake you, break you down, went to Niagara. Was sensational on a collegiate level.
And at the free throw line was just impeccable.
Was automatic.
22-11.
Oh, nice little dish right there. Nice little dish by the little guy. Everybody loves the little guy.
Well, that's what his dad said, wasn't it? You
Phillips with that penetration, transition, broke the defense down. But in a game like this, you're not going to get a lot of help. So once you beat the first guy, you're usually going to get the wide open hole to the goal. Look at him. He said, hey, I'm not even supposed to be here. I don't even have my own jersey. And yet, look at him starring.
I'm not sure those are his pants either. We're going to take a break.
Wow, he was a player.
72.
He was a player. Powell Memorial, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Miss Clark.
I
5.3-liter V8 would be nice. Some leather would be good.
Some leather would be good.
A sound system that only plays Vivaldi. Nah. The interior should be really quiet. Should ride like it's gliding on air. Give me everything we've ever learned about building fine automobiles. That's a lot to fit in a car. Who says it's got to be a car?
Introducing Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
There's more to protecting your family this winter than making sure they're dressed warmly. You've got to make sure they're protected at home as well. And no one helps protect families better than ADT. A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and take advantage of ADT's holiday special. You could even save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. And you may qualify for zero-down financing for installation. But you better hurry. ADT. Always there.
If I wear black, even a little dandruff shows.
And my old dandruff shampoo just wasn't doing enough.
So I switched. Selsun Blue Moisturizing Shampoo.
At 5 first half points, he's got 9 in the second, 14.
One of the real keys for the West, Ron, has been the outstanding play of the alternate Phillips. His penetration ability and breaking down the defense has been great. Hey, little Isaiah.
Look at that jersey.
He's wearing a Bulls jersey. The Bulls drove his dad bananas for years. Isaiah, get that jersey off him. He wants to be Michael. I like Mikey.
McGlure misses the first one.
I think it's amazing that today we had a chance to interview the best big man ever to play the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the best little man ever to play the game, Isaiah Thomas.
Sonny Vaccaro has joined us here at the table as we continue to watch the action. And for people who don't know, I'd love to get him to discuss the thoughts in putting one of these together. It started a long time ago.
31 years ago, Ron. It's you know, God's blessed me with the opportunity to do something like this, and my life has been forever fulfilled by being involved with these kids.
Tell us a little bit about the game, Sonny, how you came about getting it here. Used to be the Dapper Dan, and how it became Magic's All-Star Game.
Well, Dick, as you know, we started to think 31 years ago, and it happened because I really wanted to get Lou Alcindor at that time. He was a high school
I know you
senior.
shared that yesterday at the banquet.
And he turned me down.
And it went on and on.
Yes.
Sonny, we're going to come back, visit with you some more. We've got to take... It's the West by 10. Be right back.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because
Major League Soccer, Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on the Deuce. Ron Franklin and Dick Vitale coming to you from the Palace. Sonny Vaccaro with us here at the desk as we continue to watch and also visit about this All-Star game and its history.
You know, Sonny, last year we had some great players here. Stephon Marbury, Sharif Abdul-Rahim. And this year you take a look at Thomas and Bryant. You seem to be on the end. What's the word on Kobe Bryant as far as going to the NBA? Is that going to happen? Or?
I think the family's seriously looking at all avenues, Dick. I think Joe Bryant has been in the league. He knows a lot of people in the league. They're going to make a family decision probably within the next 3 weeks. And whatever decision we'll make, it'll be something that'll be thoroughly thought of. It won't be a rash decision either way, and it'll be unanimous.
This kid, by the way, Lauren Woods, going down to Wake Forest, is going to be quite an asset. He really's got a nice stroke, very agile, very impressed with him.
Very much like Tim Duncan.
Yeah, really.
Very, soft demeanor about him, but he blocks shots, and the kids all love them.
The best thing about him, I'll tell you right now, for him would be if Duncan stays in school, the work every day with him would be incredible.
He told me last night that when he met him on the recruiting visit, I guess, he said he was so impressed with Tim and his values on life and everything. And he asked him, and Tim alluded that he wasn't going to be there. He's going to take him under his wing and bring him into this, the big-time basketball.
Well, speaking of big-time basketball, we see Rock Lloyd taking it to go. Syracuse and Jim Boeheim is smiling with Jason Hart and Rock Lloyd coming in.
Those are two prime players. Jason Hart is a tremendous defense defensive point guard. You're not going to see him get 20 points in games like this, but he's going to play for Jimmy for 4 years and do well.
Tell us about the game itself and how it did come about in your mind. How did you make this happen? Because there's a lot of work involved. Your wife, I told the kids yesterday, but all give her a hug, Pam, for the job she does to make this happen. Do you feel, and do you get letters back from kids thanking you? Because I know how hard you people work to make this happen, to give them a first-class event.
Dick, I've had a lifetime of thank yous from the kids, and I think that's what I'm so proud of in my life, because you have kids who go on, and some of them don't become stars, as you know. Some of them have ordinary lives, but they don't forget the experience here. And one thing I've learned a long time ago, that if you treat people with respect, you'll get respect in return. If you don't force or abuse people, they won't do it to you. And I'm grateful for that.
Still a 10-point ball game. Walker is fouled on the way to the hoop.
You mentioned Walker and Barnes going out to Miami. Leonard Hamilton's got to be happy.
They also, a young man from Baltimore, Johnny Helmsley.
Yeah, Helmsley, they say he's big time.
Leonard has got it going now. You know, Miami's right in the middle of the Big East. Now they got to start winning those games. He certainly has quality players.
They got to get a new field house down there, Leonard. Tell those people to build you a new field house. They need it right on campus.
You know what? I'd like to insert this, Ron. You know, you do all these all-star games, and Dick says it so eloquently. There are players who didn't play in any of the All-Star games this year that I guarantee you will be stars in college and stars in the NBA. Just like the alternate, Rashard Phillips. There was a fluke of nature that he was even invited to participate. And as you can see, his talent is on the equal of these kids.
No question. No question about that. In fact, we were commenting that his dad had told Dick, he said, keep an eye. He said, you're going to like my little guy. And he really did. He put on quite a show.
Well, I talked about it last night at the banquet, Sonny, when I spoke to the kids about the David Robinsons, the Tim Duncans, the guys like, well, Kerry Kittles didn't play in your game. Marcus Camby did not play in your game. And yet you look at the All-American team. So right now, I said, guys, while you're sitting here, it doesn't mean that you're an automatic to be a star at the next level.
Dick, you said it so well, and you always do in your speeches at camps and everything else. And the kids listen to that, and they know that there's someone else. I just want to insert something. Neither Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, who this game is now named after, nor Michael Jordan played in, my game, so to speak. But I was able to develop relationships with these people, and going back to what Ron asked me a few minutes ago, the reason we changed it from Pittsburgh to Dapper Dan to the Magic James, when he contracted his illness, my wife Pam said, what can we give to this man of men? I mean, and even though not in years, but what he's done for basketball. And I said, the most important thing to me, other than my family, is this game. And Pam said, well, let's rename it the Magic Johnson game and move it to Detroit in his honor. And he didn't take 10 seconds to say, yes, I'd love to be involved, Sonny.
And I know he really wishes he can be here right now as you watch the jam created by the block shot by Mr. Lauren Woods. Watch Mr. Earl running the court. Lester Earl's got such a great personality. He really does.
Mr. Effervescent, that's what I call him.
Geez, he really does.
Lester the Jester, that's the name you're going to give him.
Lester the Jester. You know, next year the beat goes on. Next year it'll be the Anthony Perrys and the Lamar Odoms out of New York. As you watch Mr. Lester, the court jester, up there jamming. But, you know, the game goes on. Every year it amazes me. Last year, Marbury, and this year looking at the Bryants of the world. The talent level just keeps getting better and better.
You know what I think I watched, Dick? There are more better players than there were 31 years ago. The kids that were good 31 years ago were good.
Oh, we're talented.
Yeah, they were good. Now there are more kids that are of that stature.
And I know you're not going to answer this, and I'm going to let you think about it for a while before we come back for an answer. But I'm going to put you on the spot, big fella, like I did to Isaiah, in terms of who he would make his #1 pick. He said his #1 pick, if he had it in Toronto, would be Tim Duncan. But what I'm going to say to you, 31 years you've had the game. Sonny McCarry, you are the general manager. You are the president of the Magic's Roundball Classic. I want your all-star top 5 players to ever play in the game. You think about, I want 5. I don't want so many great 7, 8, 9. 5 guys that you would want that played in this game over 31 years. Think about that. We'll watch a little action.
I got to write some down.
I was going to write it down. I think one of them is a guest coach over across the way from Par Memorial.
But he didn't play the game. There are some great ones that didn't play in this game.
Only those that played in this game. We'll call the action. You think about it, and we'll come back to you.
Well, Barnes continues to labor at the line. He's only 2 of 5 there.
a nice little dish. I love that penetration. We see the foul on Barnes. I love little guys that can break defenses down. That's why Duke, when they had that run and they had Bob Hurley there, he did a great job in that area. And they had two guys that can finish, though, with Leitner. Will finish it. I'll guarantee you he'll finish it. The big guy. What superb quickness.
Thomas at one end and then at the other, which misses. As Lauren had the open shot. Did Holloway touch it last? No.
I'll tell you, I love Tim Thomas's ability. You can't teach some of the things he can do, Ron. That quickness for a big player, his mobility.
Very mature on the court as well. 96-88, the West on top, just under 9 to play. We'll be right back.
Yes, you're lovely. Never ever change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Just the way you look tonight.
And now with a late-breaking story, here's Suzanne.
Thanks, Tom. As the volcano continues to erupt, we take
guys like Antoine Carr, Byron Scott, Vern Fleming, Sam Perkins, Patrick Ewing, A.C. Green, Benoit Benjamin, Wayman Tisdale, Tyrone Bogues, Charles Smith, Gary Grant, Pooh Richardson, Terry Mills, Alonzo Mourning, Stacey Augman, Billy Owens, Chris Webber. It's unbelievable, the guys that played here. Name for me.
Sean Kemp. Billy Owens.
Well, 13-9 on the dunks, and Bryant probably leads in dunks in this ball game. We'll get that officially afterwards.
Okay, we're going to get the top 5. Sonny Vacara's all-magic superstar team.
Well, I'm going to give a name that the public's not going to identify with right away, but he would have been one of the great ones. A kid from Pittsburgh, Shenley High School, named Kenny Durrett.
Oh, LaSalle.
Yeah, Kenny got injured, Dick. If he wouldn't have got injured at LaSalle, he would have been one of the greatest players to play the game, and I have to recognize that, even though the public may not, and I'm going to say that.
Well, that's great. Kenny Durrett, that's a great choice.
Anthony Hardaway. I knew back then, and I know it today, what I thought he'd be and what he is. There's nothing to do with Sonny Vaccaro, obviously, but Anthony Hardaway was one of the greatest players to play in this game and any game.
Yeah,
he had some of the best practices ever. The most exciting person was Calvin Murphy.
Oh, yeah, the little guy.
1966, scored 37 points. I think it's still the record for all the All-Star games.
It is, yeah.
And he was 5'9", Ron, and he's dunking the ball, doing things that we didn't see in 1966.
And he could twirl up a ton as well.
what charisma he had on the court. I'll never forget. I believe that Calvin's performance that night perpetuated this whole All-Star thing because the fans started coming, and we had 13 years of 17,000 people in Pittsburgh for the Roundball. Wow. And I directly contributed to Calvin's performance and started talking about it. Next is Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing was, was and is and will always be Patrick Ewing, and he was special and is special. But the greatest player, I think, as far as ability in the game and winning the game and everything else and what he's done since he's left that game was Moses Malone.
That's right. Moses played in a game as well and was brilliant. I remember doing a game with Patrick Ewing. That's not a bad 5. You line up with Malone, and you certainly line up with a guy like Mr. Ewing, and you throw in Durrett, who was, like you said, an outstanding player in the backcourt of Murphy and Hardaway. Pretty good club. Lester Earl really getting to the rack.
Really putting on a show.
He's really getting to the rack. Really runs exceptionally well.
But there are so many people, so many guys. Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp and Alonzo Mourning. You're leaving these people off.
Exactly.
Shaquille O'Neal played in the game. Let's not forget that.
He's a fair player. Shaq take it to the rack.
Yeah, a lot of Hall of Famers that I didn't mention here.
Tell us a little bit about the activities for the weekend. It's not just the basketball game that makes this game.
Dick, the basketball game is the least important, I think, of the activities. We spent the Friday night at Joe Dumars, the all-time great player here in Detroit. He has a sports facility that's second to none, and we had all the parents there and everything. Go ahead, Dick.
We're going to watch a great shot block right here.
That's Barnes.
Mr. Barnes, he can really go up. Unbelievable Skywalker. Go ahead, Joe Dumars.
So he had this facility where the parents out there and the kids were out there, and we had a wonderful time Friday night. But the highlight of the weekend is the Saturday evening banquet, which you are always so dynamic and gracious to give your time. And yesterday we had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as part of the festivities too. And I think just the presence of Kareem in the midst of all these great players and their parents who obviously knew of him added to it. And I think we do a lot in honoring the parents, Nick. I think we bring the parents and the guardians into this game and make them feel, rewarded also.
Also, the gifts, I think, are beautiful. Those leather sleeve jackets the players got. Everybody wanted a jacket. They're beautiful. Magic's jacket with the gold trim and the black and gold. Just gorgeous jackets.
We only make 24 a year, and that's so special.
And you present a new one.
Dick, you're an honorary all-timer. You're an all-timer.
Thomas now with 19 points as Hart lights it up from downtown.
Jason Hart from Inglewood, California, as we talked earlier. Sonny talked about his defensive prowess going out to Syracuse. You get a lot of playing time there because they lose Sims.
Hart, the defensive player of the year in the state of California.
Same high school as Paul Pierce, Dick.
Paul Pierce out of Kansas had a great year this year.
Paul Pierce helped that ball club get one step away from making it to the Final Four.
Oh, they're my choice to win it next year. If all 5 guys return, I think that Roy Williams' club is going to be dynamite Kansas. And we said last year here it was going to be Kentucky.
Oh, my gosh, Ryan. This is the first time he's been right since 72.
Oh, come on now. Don't take away all those good things I say about him.
No, I agree with you.
I'm going to leave, Rob, but let me just say this. I appreciate, you coming in. You certainly have to do this. You had a busy weekend. I appreciate everything ESPN has done for us throughout the years, and the kids do. And it's so important for them, and they identify so strongly, especially this group, and the high school players and the college players who feel that ESPN is their network, to be very honest with you. And I've always appreciated it, and Dick is an honorary co-captain forever. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the game.
Well, thanks a lot, Sonny. Great being here. It's a pleasure to be here to get the chance to see some of the future stars of tomorrow.
So at 5:52 left to play in the ball game. 112 to 98. We're gonna hold it right here.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car or truck makes all the difference. Sweetheart, your honey-do list just got a little bit longer. Sorry.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. If men are so insensitive, why do they need 9 personal comfort settings? Spectra from Norelco. Ultra close, ultra comfortable. Guaranteed.
2 clear to land. Traffic speed 2 jets.
Imagine zooming to anywhere in a split second. Imagine 40 times mega zoom and lightning fast autofocus. Imagine what we can do together. The new Dimage Z1, another digital breakthrough from Konica Minolta.
Don't just give a gift. Give the good life.
This is the year to get him something for all his projects, and Sears is the place to do it.
A saw with a laser. How cool is that?
This year, I'm gonna give him the ultimate workshop.
Stores my tools, charges my batteries. I love it.
Sears is his favorite store.
The big tool sale at Sears. Get great savings on top brands, including Craftsman, like this Mechanics tool set for just $99.99.
Give the good life.
Are you ready to catch one of the hottest toys in America? Introducing the incredible Hover Disc. The amazing
Look for Eddie Sutton's Oklahoma State club to come bouncing back. He had a really solid year of recruiting.
Yeah, he's supposedly brought in some quality players. Duke's going to have several new players when you bring in Carrawell, Chappelle, Rashawn McLeod, who I really liked at St. John's, a transfer, and Trajan Langdon will be eligible. Be available. He was injured last year.
Walker now with 12 points in the ball game as Costello gets his pocket picked, and Barnes will finish it off.
I'll tell you, Barnes has got that great bounce. They got an excellent freshman down there this year by the name of Tim James, who played well in this game last year down in Miami, and I think he's going to be a special player.
Hart comes right back and gets the steal. Hart now in double figures.
Look at that defensive ability. He just made a great play. He looked like a defensive back. He looked like Ronnie Lott. I mean, it was unbelievable the way he went back and made that interception. Jason Hart looked like a football player. Look at Lauren Woods. And you know the ACC is going to be a lot stronger. I really believe that. I think you're going to see the league really get a heavyweight team. Last year they played. The Wake Forest certainly has a chance to be a big-time heavyweight team if Mr. Duncan comes back.
What's your feeling about that?
I think right now, I'm saying I think he's going to come back. I really believe. Look at that interception. I mean, that's like a defensive back. I think Ron, he loves college life. I think that the dollars don't really, drive him bananas for right now. And I really, in my heart, feel that he's going to come back. I really believe that.
What about Jacques Vaughn at Kansas as we continue to look at some highlights? I haven't heard. Has he made his decision yet?
Well, we hear rumors that he was thinking about coming out, but I just think that Jacques epitomizes the term student athlete, a 3.7 student. Plus, I think his stock can go up. I think a lot of these kids can learn from what John Wallace did. Jim Boeheim, and we were talking about this last night, how Wallace went from a late first round to become a lottery selection, a Super 7 pick, plus had the enjoyment of his senior year, and plus a walk down the aisle, have his degree, and still make millions.
The year before that, the knee injury caused him to stay, but O'Bannon is a great example. He got his degree. UCLA wins the national championship.
His mother talked about that last night. She is here. Mrs. O'Bannon is here, and she talked about how her son Ed really, really enjoyed his college days. Nothing like them. And he stayed 5 years, not 4. And Kareem was telling him how he made a great decision. And Kareem was telling the young people here, he said, hey, my days at UCLA, so I would never trade those days. He said, those days were so important to me and really meant so much to me in my learning process and developing my mind. Talked about knowledge giving you power.
As you can see, Rashad Phillips is back in the ball game as Walton is fouled on the way to the hoop.
But I do understand, Ron, certain kids in certain situations, you look at the dollar figures, you look at your mom and dad struggling at home financially, and you look at a chance to take care of your family. I can't blame them. I only hope that those that do that also get back to school. The great thing right now is Stephon Marbury, for example. He is back at Georgia Tech. He's going to class now. He doesn't have to do that. He came out, he's going to make millions. But I think that's a real great sign. Also, I know Michael Jordan shared with me how he went back to North Carolina and he got his degree. Now, you know and I know if it's just financially, Michael doesn't need a degree. But he wanted to feel good about himself, and he wanted to acquire more knowledge.
Under 4 minutes to play in this Magic's Roundball Classic.
Oh, look underneath. Look underneath. Well, he said that was a pass. He didn't go up and get it.
Yeah, it was.
Little
He
air
didn't
ball.
touch anything. Kobe Bryant at the other end.
Explosive.
Wow.
Explosive, exciting, enthusiastic. I mean, he'll be the 3E man. I'll come up with a new one, the 3E man.
Bryant picked up the foul. By the way, 18 points for Kobe Bryant. Running down, let's see, Thomas has got 19, 12 for Walker. Lloyd with 12. Lloyd has been impressive. And in the second half here, he only had 4 in the first half. Jones with 13.
This little guy's been impressive on a free throw line. He really has come to play, was excited to be selected as an alternate.
I think it's easy to watch Richard Phillips and say the kid really enjoys the ball game.
Oh, he really does. He's got a smile on his face. Hasn't been spoiled by a lot of the adulation. Look at the little guy. Look at the little guy. Hey, this little guy's going to be special in the Motor City.
Oh, yeah. You're right. They're going to like. He's got 10 points, Dick.
And he's got a load of assists and penetration ability.
Barnes still down, but yeah, he's going to get up. That's good.
Yeah, it's good news to see that. Looked like he had turned his ankle, but Sometimes it's very difficult to judge from sitting here. We're going to watch the little guy, Phillips. Here he is. He's an alternate. Little shake and bake. Takes the ball back. Little stutter. Cradles it. And takes it up with the left hand. His shorts are down to his ankles. Look at that, Ron. His shorts are down to his ankles. They look like his pajamas.
That's what I said a while ago when you said it's not his jersey, and I said I'm not sure it's his shorts either. But you know, he's not bothered by that.
He's got a bounce to him, doesn't he? Look, he's got that strut. He's got that little bounce to him. He loves being here with all the stars. He says, all the stars? I'm one of the stars. I am a star.
2:41 to play in the ball game, and as he goes to the line, Phillips has an opportunity to pick up his 11th point here.
Very important for a little guy like this kid to be able to make free throws, because late in the game the ball will be in his hands and he's got to be able to convert on that free throw line.
From Ferndale.
They had a player years ago there by the name of Tommy Staten, played over at Michigan when Michigan had their team that was ranked like #1 in the nation. It was Ricky Reed, Bill Hubbard. There's Thomas.
Tim looked around in total surprise, like, hey, nobody picked me up. He's got 21.
He slides and glides right down the lane. Nice tip.
Winfred Walton gets credit for the tip. It was Robinson who put up the shot initially. Robinson shows a lot of athletic ability, doesn't he, Dick?
Well, you talk about Purdue. They're going to get a good one right there. And they got a nice nucleus in Brad Miller on the inside. And certainly when you think of that club, Luther Clay, I believe, is going to be a solid player. Had a little struggle this year, but they were an experienced team. And Austin is back, so he gives them a solid perimeter player. There's Thomas just sliding, gliding down the lane, turns around, sees nobody there, takes it up and jams it. But Purdue has Gene Cady. And when you have Gene Cady, you got a chance to win. Won 3 Big Ten titles in a row, was National Coach of the Year.
First team to do that since the Indiana clubs back in the early 70s.
No, the Ohio State clubs.
Ohio
State in the late 60s.
And the reason I said Indiana because
Bobby Knight.
Because Bobby was at Ohio State.
Yeah, you heard about that, yeah?
Yep. I had them 3 different times this year, Purdue. And one was up here in the Motor City. We went over to Ann Arbor, and boy, they put on a defensive clinic.
I remember watching that game. It was incredible what they did in the first half. They just blew it right out.
Thomas left alone. He jammed one a moment ago. Takes the 3 this time. You know, Sonny's comments were interesting about how many. They're always good players, but they're just more because there are more kids participating. Wow.
I'll tell you, he's so graceful, so young. He's only 17 years of age. See, that's another situation. People are jumping in and say, well, Kevin Garnett has made that transition. But Kevin Garnett was approaching 20 years of age, and Kevin would be the first to tell you that he didn't have the option to go to a Division I big-time power because of the scores on the SATs and the ACTs. And you look at Kobe Bryant, who's only 17 years of age.
Yeah, in fact, I saw the interviews that he said had he been able to go to college that
he probably would have went.
That he would have, because he said you don't realize that this is a business and this is a lot of work up here.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He said that in USA Today, and he's certainly doing a solid job getting a lot of minutes now at Minnesota and becoming a positive player. But there's a big difference between 17 and 20.
Yeah. It's like Isaiah said here at the table just a while ago when he came on to visit with us. He was a lot different kid, a lot more mature when he was a senior in college and when he came in as a freshman. Speaking of Isaiah, almost got the player in his lap right then, Phillips.
Isaiah eventually went back and got his degree, but he left Indiana, Ron, after that 2 years when he led him to that national title down there in 1980, I believe it was 81, when they won that national title in Philadelphia.
I was going to holler over at him and say that's the first charge he's ever taken.
No, I guarantee he's taken some charges in his life. Right now he's in charge. He's the boss. He's the honcho guy. I mean, he's the boss up in Toronto.
At the line for the East, number
they got to go in and David Stoudemire, who he brought in. It looks like he'll be the Rookie of the Year. This kid here is just so bright. When you speak to Kobe Bryant, fluent Italian he speaks, He was in Italy when his dad played over there after his pro career. His dad played 8 years in the NBA after being a first-round draft choice of the Golden State Warriors. Joe Jellybean Bryant, former LaSalle star, now an assistant coach at LaSalle.
Got to visit with him prior to the ball game, and a very attractive mom.
Wow, beautiful mom, beautiful sisters, and such a close-knit family, sitting down, having breakfast together as a family, always sharing with one another. I tell you, just a great, great family. I spoke about that at the banquet, about you could just feel the love that they have for one another.
And the sisters, volleyball players.
Yeah, volleyball.
All good athletes.
Yeah, good athletes. She told me she didn't want to play basketball. She didn't like elbows and pushing and shoving. She liked volleyball.
So we got 32 seconds left to play in this edition of Magic's Roundball Classic from the Palace.
Hey, mentioned women's basketball. What a job, Pat Summitt, winning that national title 4 times now with Tennessee. We got to salute the Lady Vols and also salute Roy Kramer. What a year for the SEC. Kentucky and Tennessee.
Marciniak, MVP in the tournament for Tennessee.
Former Notre Dame girl,
right.
transferred
out of Pennsylvania. Walton with the jam, and, well, we still got time for one more. The West is going to win it, though, as they lead by 12. Tim Thomas feeds inside instead of taking the 3.
Nice look. I'll tell you one thing. Look at this, Jason Hart coming over. The West won this game. He came over because I was teasing him. I said, you have no shot against the East, Jason. I said, what are you going to do with Kobe Bryant and Tim Thomas?
And he just walked right over here and said, we won this game.
I know. He reminded me that they won. Look, Kareem, he couldn't lose. Kareem coached both clubs.
Oh, my. 127 to 115. The West All-Stars win in somewhat of a mild upset as Richard Phillips has been named as the MVP for the West team, and for the East, actually, it's a pair of 3s. Tim Thomas is the MVP.
You know, it's amazing. Rashad Phillips didn't even think he was going to play in the game last night. He not only plays in the game, he goes home with the big gold trophy, and he's the star of stars.
Well, speaking of stars, young man who has joined us here at the table, Kobe Bryant, we talked about his talents. You had 21 points is what I'm looking at unofficially over here in the ball game. But you're disappointed because you guys were supposed to walk with this thing. What happened?
Well, we came out with the attitude that we were going to walk through this team. We were going to win. I think you can see the attitude at the beginning of the game. We came out very lackadaisical, and they came out very pumped up and excited, and they jumped out to an early lead. They maintained that lead through the game.
I know Jason Hart came over and teased me. I was teasing him before the game. I said, you got no shot against Kobe Bryant and Tim Thomas, and they put the hurt on you guys. You guys didn't get back defensively.
Yeah, well, we're going to see him during the AAU season, so I think we're going to get him back.
But I'll tell you one thing, Kobe, there's an example of you jamming right here, flying through the sky. I mean, really a tremendous talent. Who do you pattern your game after?
Well, I just try to play the overall game. I try to be a well-rounded basketball player who can handle the ball, who can pass the ball, and who can shoot the ball. I want to be a multi-skilled basketball player.
And you know we have to ask you this question. Rumors are flying all over that you're the one player here who's thinking seriously of making the transition right from the high school ranks to the professional ranks. How serious is that part of your decision?
Well, it's definitely a possibility. I think I'd be foolish not to look into that. I'm honored that people think that I'm able to make the jump. So obviously I'm going to take a look into it and see what my options are. So it's a possibility.
What other options when you talk about college? If college is your choice, what schools have you narrowed it down to?
Well, I narrowed it down to about 5. I had LaSalle, Duke, Michigan, North Carolina, and Villanova.
And LaSalle, your dad obviously is the assistant coach. Tell us a little bit about this guy plays his dad one-on-one, and I understand your dad still beats you.
Hey, well, he beats me up, and he keeps scoring, so I think when I get a little older with my son, then I can keep score. I think I'll beat him every time, too.
Listen, most people are not fortunate enough to live with a guy that played for 8 years in the National Basketball Association. I know what kind of tight relationship you and your dad have. What's the most important thing or most important things that he gave you to make you a better basketball player in high school?
Well, he's always told me to enjoy the basketball game. I think that's the best advice that he could ever give me. Because a lot of players just go out there and play and let the pressure overwhelm them. But my father said, go out there, have a good time, and enjoy yourself, and good things will come.
You know, Kobe, also, I mentioned on the year you speak fluent Italian. You were in Italy. Come sta, paesano? Come sta, tu? But you speak fluent Italian, but also an outstanding student. A lot of people are unaware that I believe you scored about 1,100 on your SATs. Am I right about that? And you're just totally a well-rounded person. If you make the transition and the NBA is your goal and it happens that you make that move, will education still be part of your plan?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I always want to be a well-rounded basketball player and a well-rounded person. So I think that if I do make the jump, I definitely want to get my degree.
Were you surprised? There's talent all over this country, but just like Richard comes in, he was not even one of the regular guys. He wins the MVP in this ball game. Were you a little surprised at some of the fellas that you had heard about but you had not played with in this ball game that impressed?
Well, I know all these players are here for a reason. Whether it's Richard Phillips, he's here for a reason. He can play basketball, and I noticed that in practice he was out there playing. He wasn't backing down from anyone. I think this is a reality check for most of us. And guys who are America's guests are coming in here, and a guy like Richard Phillips comes in and does work. I think that sends a great message to all these players to go back home and work on their basketball skills, because there's a lot of talent out there besides ourselves.
Well, that's a message we tried to convey to you last night about a Tim Duncan, for example, and a number of players, David Robinson, who are not superstar. I mean, nobody wanted a David Robinson, and he becomes the Naismith Player of the Year. So there are kids out there who are really dreaming. I think, and dreaming and making their dreams happen. But I think the one thing that you have and that he has in his life, Ron, and more kids need, you got a support team there with your family.
Oh, exactly. If I play bad on the court, I can always go home, have a home-cooked meal, and my mother always be there to comfort me. But I think that's a great thing to have, because they love me not because of basketball, but because I'm their son, and they love me very much. And basketball has nothing to do with it.
And I know one thing: you get all your looks, and so do your sisters from your mom. I'll tell you that. I guarantee you that.
Colby, thanks for coming by. We appreciate it. 21 points in this ball game. But the most important thing is just to get to visit with you a little bit and let the fans see that the young man is not only an All-American on the court, but off the court as well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And I told you yesterday, I'm biased. I want to call your games in college. Wait for that NBA. College.
Okay. Colby Bryant, our special guest here, 21 points for him, and they are telling me that we are out of town. 127. We are out of time.
No more time. We got to get a TO, baby.
Can't
That's
do it. 127 to 117. The West wins it. For Dick Vitale, I'm Ron Franklin.